Okay, I Spit on Your Grave 3. This one is actually a continuation of the story from 1. I'm going to read the jacket sleeve to you. In a continuation of the storylines from the 2010 film, Jennifer returns working for a crisis hotline, where a serial killer is using the hotline to target rapists. Jennifer's dark past sends detectives in her direction, but is she the killer they are looking for? The problem with that is they show her working. They never really fully develop what it is that she does. And the person who is killing the rapists is using the group, not a hotline. So in this one, it's less of the victimized individual is seeking revenge, and instead it's a victimized individual seeking revenge for other victimized individuals. Which makes it kind of a slightly different thing, because she hears people describe things in a group, and then finds out that pretty much every single person in a group who has been victimized, pretty much their attacker got off. Normally via technicality. So she tries to work with the cops when something happens to one of her friends, and they're like, the cop goes, "We know we did it, but the evidence, and we couldn't prove the case." So it's like, okay, well, there's victim number 1. And whatever somebody says should happen to the perpetrator is what she does. And it's like, okay. And then towards the end, it's every guy is evil. Because with the exception of the detective and Oscar, pretty much every guy's dialogue is borderline, well, it's sexual harassment bordering into like rape dialogue. And I was like, okay. And towards the end, you see the character go from, then it's just, whoa. Oh, this is what you're doing now? A part of what makes these films work is you empathize truly with the victim. And the guys have little to no redeeming value. So it makes it's easier to do the self-justification of the actions. In this one, she wasn't wronged by these people. Other people who are not, quote-unquote, doing anything about it, she becomes their hand of justice, essentially. And that was, while still working, I don't know, it was just hard to feel that level of empathy you should feel for your protagonist. It's kind of like, okay, I get why she's doing it. I can see the why. I can go with I can partially agree. And then there's all the moments of entrapment. It's like, well, if you begin the process of directly putting yourself in that situation and, stalking individuals who then in turn try to rape you, it's like it really reduces the amount of innocence that the protagonist has. And it's like, no. And why is it pretty much every single guy is pretty much a one step away from rapist? And it was like, normally there are a couple of good men in the film. In this one, there's 2. Just 2. Everyone else ends up being cannon fodder. So, nice to continue the storyline from 1 with flashbacks. But it was like, it worked, but it really missed that visceral connection you're supposed to make when it comes to the revenge aspect. So it still works, just not as good. I will say I like that they're going from a slight deviation of the norm. I would like to see, if they're going to continue this franchise, try to have your protagonist not be a woman. I think there's a whole slew of different people out there that would make a very unique sort of take on this film. Would it be perceived as well? No. Might be more groundbreaking than anything else. But it feels that this genre has really, really just exhausted almost everything that they can do.